Happy Halloween, guys. Hello everybody, True here, back with another True review, and today it is Slayaway Camp, the Butcher's Cut on the Xbox One. It's available right now, priced at £13.59 in the UK, and it's currently reduced to £10.19, I believe, over the Halloween season. Now, what we have with Slayaway Camp is a puzzle game of all things, and it's very unusual for a puzzle game to pick the horror genre to make a game of. I can't think off the top of my head another game that's actually done it, so I was a bit skeptical there whether the puzzle aspect would go with the subject matter, but it does. Now, Slayaway Camp's obviously a riff on the Friday the 13th Camp's Crystal Lake, whatever it was called, and the game is heavily influenced by the Friday the 13th movies, and a lot of the murderers in the game are, like, there's one called Skullface, which is obviously, you could say it's Splatterhouse, but then Splatterhouse was inspired by Friday the 13th when Jason donned his hockey mask in the third film, I think it was. So it is inspired very, very heavily by Friday the 13th, along with the movie titles, which the levels are split into. You've got the first one, you've got the return to Slayaway Camp. You have 2.5D, which is a riff on the third Jason film, I think it was, which was in 3D. You then have ones that follow him to the city, which is obviously a take on Jason Takes Manhattan. So a lot of heavily Friday the 13th influences there, although other horror movies are referenced as well, as I'll get to that in a moment. So what we have for the gameplay is it's a very, very simple game, and it's a gameplay mechanic that's nothing new. I think I remember playing games as early as the early 80s that had this same gameplay mechanic, and you slide around each of the maps there trying to murder all the campers, which is a pretty easy process when the game first starts off, because there's nothing really to stop you. You've just got to figure out your way around the maze and then get to the pentagram exit, which opens up when you murder the final victim. Things get complicated when obstacles start getting introduced, and they start getting introduced pretty early on through the form of holes and campfires that if you move into that space or across that space you will fall or burn to death. Obviously the same goes to your victims as well, because there is a mechanic where if you actually stop in a square adjacent to them, you'll actually scare them, and they go along the same rules as you do. They will scare in the direction available to them until they hit something, so you can actually knock them into holes and traps, which is a very important aspect of the game as the game progresses, because you can't sometimes directly murder one of the campers or one of the innocents on the level. Other obstacles that get introduced are cops, which you can't land on the square adjacent to them that they're facing. You can luckily kill the cops as well, which is tied to a few achievements, and things just progress like that. Cops get introduced, SWAT teams get introduced, telephones get introduced where you can distract or make the campers or the innocent go and answer a telephone by making the other one of the same colour ring. Other mechanics that get added later on are sticky pads of goo, which obviously bring you straight to a halt there. There's bookcases you can knock over, electric fences you have to avoid and use to your advantage. There's exits that appear on the level as well, so the scare mechanic comes into play there, where if you scare one of the victims down an escape route, they will escape and inform the police, and then you get whenever you die or whenever they escape, you get a very nice credit roll with a very cheesy horror-inspired 80s kind of guitar song there, which really, really fits the theme of the game. But yeah, there's just so much going for this game, and this all gets introduced gradually as you progress through the game's 300 levels. It's just an amazing amount of content, and the difficulty curve is spot on. The difficulty just goes up in the perfect curve, really. You never feel that you've been thrust 5 steps ahead and you're not ready for this. It can gradually introduces you with mechanics and techniques and eases you into them before it ramps it up a little bit more before introducing the next set of complications to your level. Now, as I say, the levels are based on horror movies. There's one based on the Substitute series of films where you play as a teacher. There's one set in an office where an office worker cracks and goes on a murdering spree. There's even a bizarre one where you play as a hot dog and you're killing everybody with food poisoning. So it's a game that doesn't take itself very, very seriously. What it is a game, though, is a game that is designed very, very well. It's removed all the annoyances from one of these types of games. My biggest bugbear with this puzzle kind of genre is that there's no quick restart option. When you mess up, you have to reload the level back in, or you have to go into a menu and pick restart, and that obviously it takes time, and obviously multiple failures that adds up and becomes an annoyance very, very quickly. Slayaway Camp doesn't have any of these issues whatsoever. They thought of everything. You can simply press your left, because the game is set up in like a VHS kind of format. You can simply press your left trigger to completely restart the level, and there is a small little reload there, but it is very, very negligible. But there's no menus to navigate, or you can even hit your left bumper, I think it was, to just move back one move, so you can actually undo mistakes that you make, or go back to a certain point in the level, and it's instantaneous, which is fantastic. So it doesn't mean that you've done like a level that takes 30 moves and you mess up on move 29, and you have to restart the whole thing again. You can just simply backtrack one move. It's just fantastic. They thought of the player, they thought of the player's frustration, and I commend the developer for that. It's Blue Wizard Digital is the developer. They've done a bang-up job of making this game as user-friendly as possible. And then to top it all off, even if you do become completely stuck, there's a hint system. So I've actually forgot to mention this. When you complete a level, you do get a little mini game, which is just basically a stop the marker in a zone game. And if you stop it in the marker, you get some skull coins, and skull coins are used to buy things, which I'll cover in a second. One of the things you can buy is hints to how to complete the level you're stuck on. You can buy a hint for 10 gold, or if you're still stuck, you can actually buy a walkthrough for 100 gold, which basically plays out the level to you, the solution of the level. It doesn't complete the level for you, so you still have to take note and commit that solution to memory, but it does give you a full solution if you do get completely stuck with the game. While we're talking about the skull coins, I may as well carry on that theme there. The skull coins are used mainly to buy things called, what they're called now, gore packs. Every now and then, usually once per level, there's one of the murders which is a bit more gruesome. It zooms in and there was a bit of an animated murder scene there, and it uses one of the gore packs to do that. And the gore packs just add a little bit of elaboration. They just add really cosmetic things, and to be honest with you, they do kind of outstay their welcome, because they do kind of interrupt the flow of the game eventually. I do believe you can turn them off, and they are skippable as well, so it's not too much of a problem if they do become an annoyance there. Other things you can buy mystery boxes, which you will buy on new murderers to play as, and again, these are just really for really just skins, but both gore packs and the killers are related to achievements. You do have to unlock them all, so there is a little bit of money accumulation needed there to buy everything that the game has to offer. There is also a mini game as well, which has 4 achievements, I believe, attached to it, which is basically you stop the marker in the zone game. You have to get 25 consecutive kills, and that can get a little bit tricky because the zone does decrease in size. By the time you get to about 20 kills, it can become a bit tricky. It posed a little problem for me for about 15 minutes, but once you get the timing down, it shouldn't pose that much of a problem for players. Other than that, it's just a basic completion for achievements. You're looking at just complete the levels, get kills in many different ways, which you will do just through natural progression of the game. Unlock all the gore packs and the killers, and complete that mini game up to 25 kills, and that's pretty much your 1000 gamer score. Or you also have to get 666 kills across all the movies as well, which just is a little bit grindy, because once you have completed the levels, you are a little bit short, about 125 people short there, but that doesn't really take that long to do, if I'm honest with you. mean, I've been talking about the gameplay so much, I've not even addressed the graphics as of yet. I mean, that's how much I really enjoyed this game. The graphics are kind of like a Minecrafty kind of style. I thought it was going to spoil the game really, but I think it does work. It's kind of like got that funny cutesy approach to it that makes the deaths more amusing, and you see these little Minecrafty kind of characters with eyes popping out or getting slung into a wood chipper or things like that. It's just very, very funny. I think if they'd have gone a more realistic style, I think it would have lost some of its charm there. Musically, the game's strong as well in that regards. You've got kind of a riff on the classic Jason theme, you know, that one that goes like cha 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 or whatever it is. That's probably an appalling example of what it is, but you know the one that I mean. It's got kind of a riff on that. It's got some cheesy 80s music in there. It's got some very high pitched screams going on there when people get slaughtered, and the musical tracks alone, I mean, there's one end of level mission where you have to kill somebody at a campfire who's continuously singing this tune and he can't sing to save his life, and you've got to murder him, put him out, put everybody out of their misery. It's kind of like got that funny kind of humour to it there. So in terms of a mark for Slayaway Camp, Butcher's Cut, it's just fantastic value for your money. It's 300 levels, it's 300 progressive levels which have been designed spot on. Thought has been put into the player experience there, with ease of restarting the level, ease of backtracking if you make a mistake, and it's just a thoroughly fun title which will probably keep you entertained for 20 plus hours while you're trying to solve the problems there. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be solutions to all the maps going up on True Achievements and other websites. I would say try and avoid those if at all possible, because it does really detract from the enjoyment of the game. But if you haven't guessed by now, I'm going to give Slayaway Camp Butcher's Cut a very, very big recommendation. So well done guys at Blue Wizard Digital. You've made a very, very entertaining puzzle game there, and I think it represents fantastic value for money, and it's probably one of the best on Xbox One this year, to be honest with you. So thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you on the next one.